welcome to my corner.
Welcome to my corner. Let's have a talk now. From Miami to California. Check your girl out. I'm gonna give it to you straight up. That's right. That's right. Keeping it real, no games inside. Let's go. Welcome to my corner, y'all.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the corner. Hey, y'all. What's up? Okay, so if you have been watching my TikToks, my Instagrams, and Facebook, pretty much all my social media platforms, I'm doing 29 Days of Christmas with Candace. Okay, so let me explain what 29 Days of Christmas is. Okay, so I know it's 25 days of Christmas, but December is my birthday month, right? I turned 29 on Christmas Day. And so what I wanted to do, because I wasn't going to participate in Vlogmas this year, because one, what am I vlogging? Like, I don't go nowhere. So there's no point in me participating in Vlogmas, okay? I don't know about y'all, but Corona's still out in the trees and the streets, so I just couldn't. So I was like, you know what? I'd rather do 29 tips that I have learned throughout my life of turning 29, right? And so I said each day I'll give them a tip, or like I'll give you 2 tips in a day. And then like at the end of the week, I'll give you a story time on how I learned these tips. And so we had tip 1 through 4, and here they go. Good day, beautiful people. All right, now I told y'all that December was my birthday month, and yes, I want y'all to give me a gift, specifically cash. However, I'm gonna give you guys a gift as well. So since I'm turning 29, I'm gonna give you guys 29 pieces of wisdom that I have learned throughout my life. I will either give you a tip each day, or I'll give you 2 in a day. Now, at the end of the week, I will take all of the tips and I will create a story time on my YouTube channel of how I learned these. So y'all about to get all up in my business, so make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, link in my bio. Okay, let's get to the first tip. Tip number 1. People will treat you how you allow them to treat you. So if you're constantly getting disrespected, it's because you have allowed that. You have to learn to set boundaries, okay? You have to learn to command your space and set boundaries and make sure people don't cross your boundaries. Learn that no is a complete sentence. If something stresses out your headspace, you tell them that in advance. Choose you, because can't nobody treat you better than you can, and that's just on period. Okay, happy birthday to me. We got 28 more tips to go. Good day. Good day, everybody. Okay, so here's 29 Days with Christmas with me, Candace. Here comes tip number 2. Let's get to it. Okay, so we're all running our own races in our own lanes, right? And what I learned about runners is, like, what do they run in? Not jogging suits. They don't have on a lot of clothing. It's just them, the lane, and them little shorts and that little beater thing, right? Okay, what I learned is my future requires a healed version of me. In order for me to win this little race I'm running, I gotta let go of things. There's so many things boggling us down that we can't get to the finish line, like unforgiveness, bitterness, resentment, like jealousy. Those type of things weigh on you. And if you're trying to run a race and win the race, you can't win it with too many clothing. You can't win it with all this stuff. So you gotta let go. Your future is waiting on you to be healed. Do the work. Okay, good day. All right, here comes tip number 3 tomorrow. See ya. Day, beautiful people. Here we go. 29 Days of Christmas with Candace. Here comes tip number 3. Tip number 3. Stop taking people on as projects. You are not a fixer. This is not Bob the Builder, okay? You cannot fix people. All you can do is love people where they are. So here's what happens. A lot of us get in relationships with people and we're like, you know, they're just so great. They just need somebody to love them. They just need somebody to be there for them. And then what ends up happening is you end up taking on their problems. You end up leaving the relationship more damaged than when you got in there. But here's the thing. You can lead people to the well, but you can't make them drink. And a lot of people like being broken. They like being the victim. Sis, when that man said, you know, I just need somebody to be there for me. You know what I'm saying? I just need you. I can be there for you, but I cannot be your mental punching bag, and I won't. So sometimes you have to tell people like, look, I love you, but I can't do this. This isn't for me. I can't fix you. I'm not Jesus. I'm not your savior. Seek help. Mental health. All right, good day, people. Good day, beautiful people. 29 Days of Christmas with Candace. Here comes tip number 4. Number 4. You don't get to hurt people and then put a time limit on how fast they can heal. If you stab someone, do you just slap a band-aid over it and tell them to go? No, there's surgery sometimes. There's stitch work that has to be done. When you hurt people, they have the right to stitch their heart. They have the right to take the time to figure out how they want to get over it. You don't get to hurt people and tell them, hey, sorry, get over it. That's not fair. That's not fair. You can apologize, but you have to wait for them to be ready. Okay, that's tip number 4. We got 25 left. Have a good day. So let's get into the story, shall we? Okay, so In the year of 2009, I graduated from North International High School, which is in Brunsum, the Netherlands. And then I moved to America to attend the illustrious Winston-Salem State University, which is an HBCU located in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And so when I got to Winston, I kind of like jumped in. So like I was singing in the gospel choir, and then like somehow, child, they just left us for dead. And so I ended up leading the gospel choir. I was the president of that. I joined a few different organizations throughout my college career. And then I was dating in college. Oh God, the worst experience of my life. Would not recommend. And then I was also in a group. Okay, so all these stories, all these tips that I have learned have taken place around kind of this college time, if that makes sense. Okay, so the first one was people will treat you how they allow. Okay, so what you allow will continue. Okay, so y'all remember the story time where I was throwing chairs? The Facebook profile was the same girl that I seen him with that day. So now I'm upset because I'm like, I told y'all, mufflers. Y'all remember that? Okay, so the reason why I say people will treat you how you allow them to treat you. Okay, so although I did get cheated on and I was the victim, I allowed disrespect. I allowed him to do whatever he wanted to do because at that time I had low self-esteem. That's my disclaimer. Okay, I had low self-esteem. I allowed him to do that. I tolerated that. I didn't know my worth, so he was treating me based upon what I allowed. So I allowed him to disrespect me. I allowed him to play with my heart like that. I allowed that. And so I had standards, but I really didn't set a tone for him. I just let him do whatever he wanted to do. And so then I was looking, stupid, basically. So that's the first video. I don't really want to go into too much depth about him because I just feel like we talk about him a lot. And the things I want to leave in 2020 and the rest of my life is him and every other mistake that I've ever made. So that's how that first tip comes to play. Now the second tip, running with baggage. Okay, so, all right. So in 2010, 2011, I started singing in this group, and in Winston, they were this gospel group, and we all sang and we sang to the Lord or whatever. And so basically in 2012, I kind of got kicked out of the group, and they kind of like dragged me for filth, and it just wasn't pretty, and it just wasn't a good vibe. And so I hated them. I'm not even gonna lie, I hated every single part of them. Now we cool, like we straight. Like, I mean, I think at this point you have to learn, which will be another tip, but you got to learn to heal without ever getting an apology. And so what I had learned was after I got kicked out of the group, I carried that heaviness, that resentment, that anger, that bitterness with me through my adult career. I was also cheated on, so I was carrying his baggage as well. And so I was carrying that through like trying to be this person here, and it wasn't working for me. Like, the corner didn't start until actually I got over that. And honestly, it took a long time for me to get over that. Like, I didn't know that I was trying to be this uplifting, motivational person, but I was broken on the inside. I was so damaged. I was so afraid to let people in. I was afraid to like trust people again. I was afraid to give my heart again because they had messed over me. And honestly, they did a work on me because they were also Christians. So like I was a little sketch of like church people for a minute. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. And so I was trying to be this person you see in front of you, okay? Because I knew I was gonna be like, I just had dreams and visions of me being on TV and me being like, everybody kept saying you need a vlog, you need a YouTube, So I had dreams and stuff of that, but I couldn't be here because I was carrying them. They did a work on my heart. And until I had released them, until I had learned like, look, they're not gonna apologize. And sometimes you just have to forgive people for how they mistreated you and let it go. And it took me some years. I'm not gonna, like, I'd be lying if I said I got over it in a year. Heck no. That stuff happened in 2013, the beginning of it. It took me to the end of 2017 to realize I was even hurt and I was holding that stuff. And it's 2020, and no, there's no apology, but I'm fine because I realized the places I have to go, the things that I need to do, I can't do it holding anger and bitterness and resentment in my heart. I can't. It's too much baggage, okay? It's too much baggage. It's heavy. It's heavy being angry. It's heavy being frustrated. It's heavy carrying. It's heavy. And I don't want it. I had enough weight on me, okay? Carrying the past mistakes was not something that I wanted to carry. Okay? So that's where that came from. I think that was the first time I've actually ever admitted that. So this is actually kind of freeing. So maybe this is therapy for me, okay? All right, so tip number 3 came about, you can't fix people, it's not your job to. Okay, so let's get into it. So I have a very healing energy about me, right? I don't know, somehow broken people are attracted to me. Like I attract broken people. And so I can admit that the last few people that I've talked to were broken and damaged. And I literally knew that, but it was like, nah, I just need to, they just need somebody to love them. They just need somebody to be there. They just need somebody to care for them, right? I was trying to fix people, but that wasn't my job. And so like, I was talking to this guy and so I grew up on love. He didn't. So his parents were divorced. And, I was just trying to show him like, good. I wanted to be married. Let's be very clear. He wasn't sure. And so I was trying to show him like, look, my parents did it. I'm not those type of girls, and you can't let these people mess over you. So I was trying to heal him. He had just got out of a broken relationship. His mom and his dad I was trying to heal him. I was trying to fix him. And what I realized was in the midst of me doing that, this man didn't want to be fixed. He liked being the victim. He liked waddling in his pity. He liked it. It was a safe space for him. So here I was working overtime, trying to fix him, working overtime, trying to make sure he's straight, working overtime, trying to show him that I'm child for what? He liked being damaged. And so what I had to realize was, although I have this healing persona, just because you're a healer doesn't mean you have to heal everyone. This is not Bob the Builder. You do not have to fix these men. However they come assembled is on them. All you can do is say like, yo, look, I'm praying for you, dog. That's really my heart posture now, okay? Like if you come to me and you got all this baggage and damage, only thing I can say is I'm praying for you, but I'm not going to overexert myself into people's lives anymore, trying to fix them and show them that like, hey, I love you. And so because I love you, you can be better. But it's like, unless they want to be better, they won't. And that's just a sad reality of it. His loss. Granted, I think that now that time has passed, he's a lot better. But once again, I just don't want to go back into that because it's like somehow when I connect with people, their problems and baggage now get dumped on me because I have such a healing persona. So I've been learning to like set boundaries. It's working for me. Once you start setting boundaries, people think like you changed, but it's not. I didn't change. I just got some boundaries for myself. So like now, when people have problems, I assess it. I'm like, is this a life or death problem? You should see a therapist. If it's something I can help you with, I will help you with, but I'm not going to listen to the same story over and over. I'm not going to listen to you doubt yourself over and over. I'm not going to listen to you complain over. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be your mental punching bag at all. So I'll tell you to seek a therapist. So that's how tip 3 came about. Tip number 4. Now this is going to be the most transparent I've ever been in my life. Okay. So look, I can admit that I was a manipulator. I can admit that I was a liar. I can admit these, look. In my past, I can admit that some of my friendships fell apart because I was the way I was. Some of my relationships fell apart because I was the way I was. I was a manipulator. I was a liar. I was conniving. That's just the ace of spades, right? I've hurt people in my life. Like, let's just be very clear. I've hurt people and I apologize. If I ever hurt you and I've ever offended you and I've ever broken you to the part, like I can accept the fact that in some people's story, I am the villain because I haven't always been perfect. Like that's just the reality of it, right? And so, I hurt someone really, really bad. I don't know if we was friends, but I thought, I hurt her really, really bad and I messed over her. And I thought that after I had apologized, like we would have been cool because I had apologized. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, yo, I'm sorry, right? And to this day, she still hates me. I'm like, okay. But what I had to realize, I was so mad because I was like, dang, why is she not getting over this? Like I said sorry, like dang, we could be homegirls again. It was like, nah, like you hurt me. Like you messed over me. You don't get to, Candace. Sometimes you just have to admit like, yo, I took my L. Like I messed over you as a friend. I'm sorry, please forgive me. She can accept my apology, but she doesn't, that's it. Like I have to let her accept my apology on her own terms. I can't rush her. And even though sometimes like when I hear that, like people come back and tell me stuff about, I just be like, I have to take my L because I messed over her as a friend. I broke her trust as a friend. I disrespected her as a friend. I was not the best friend to her. And she never was not a good friend to me. And so tip 4 was about, you don't get to break people and then determine how fast they heal. Sometimes you just have to admit that you're the villain in the story. It sucks. It sucks, you know? I hate that I'm such a uplifting, inspirational person, but to know that I have damaged somebody to the point where they wouldn't spit on me off, I was on fire, hurts my heart. But I was immature, I was childish, I was a manipulator, I was a liar. I can admit these things. I can admit that because that's not who I am anymore. I can admit that I've messed over some men. I don't think I broke no hearts. Now, let's be very clear. But I can admit, like, maybe my intentions weren't clear. But once again, I'm not like this person that we see, we just got here. I wasn't always like that. So those are the tips of this week. 29 Days of Christmas with Candace, week 1. Here we go. Next week, we got more stuff coming. I love y'all. Be back in the corner next week. Peace.